Hi there and welcome back to the channel. My name is Mike and I'm excited to share another Divi tutorial with you. My goal here is to make learning Divi as straightforward as possible. So we want to continue on in the series of learning about the new features from Divi 5, which is the interactions that we've been learning. So in the previous video I showed you how you can scale elements and how you can rotate them and also how you can tilt them. Alright, we also looked in a previous video on how you can set up a pricing page to display either the monthly or the yearly pricing. Right, so I can probably link to that in the top right hand corner here for the videos, or else you just go back on my page and you'll be able to see them there. Today what I want to look at is if you have some text and say you want to change the color. If a person clicks on the button, then you want to see a different color. So we can have a look at that today. So if I come over here and I click on it, you see it changes color. All right, so if that's something you're interested in, hit that like button below and let's jump right in. Okay, so we're jumping into the interactions demo here. I have the same one set up that I did on the previous tutorial, so I don't really want to run through the entire setup of how I set this page up, but basically just add a new page and then use the finance landing page for the pre-made layouts, and you should be able to get back to exactly where I am here. If you've been following in the series I've been doing, then there's no worries, you just open up that same page again. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to change this here, and we're going to change the color of this by clicking the button below. Okay, so hopefully that's going to work out for us today, and there's not going to be any issues, because like with Divi 5, you never know. Alright, let's click into this one over here. What I want to do is I want to create a new preset from the current styles. And so once I have it here, I'm just going to call this H2 original. Okay. And we're going to have a look and just make sure everything's all set as it should. And yes, okay, so I'm going to save that preset. Okay, so now we have it set to H2 original. And then what I want to do is I actually want to change this color. And so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to come and change the color over here to this yellow. And once I have this yellow over here, I'm going to create another preset. And I'm going to select it from the styles that are done now. And this one I'm going to make H2 yellow. All right, and once that's done, I'm just going to say save preset. Okay, and then that is done. So if I go back and I click on H2 original, then it goes back to the white. And if I click on the H2 yellow, it'll go back to the yellow. All right, so that's the foundation that we want to start with. Now what we want to do is we want to jump into the button. So if we come down to the bottom here and we select there, and then let's change this to something a bit more appropriate. Change color. And then we jump into the advanced over here. Now we've missed a very vital step. Let's just click back onto the module settings over here for the H2, and let's jump into the admin label. And this admin label, let's call this H2, start at the beginning, Ideal Fund H2. All right, this you can name whatever you want to name it, as long as you can identify it, because it's going to be listed in a very long list of all the items that you see on the page when we look for it. So let's go and show you what I mean. If I come now back into the button and we go to advanced and we go to interactions and we say add interaction. And then I want to add a click interaction because I want to be able to click on that button. And then I want to say I want to toggle this preset. So I click toggle this preset. Target module. Now this is the list I was talking about, so let's go scroll down and look if we can find it. And there we go, Ideal Fun H2. So that's the one I want to target. And how do I want to target? Which preset do I want to toggle with? Well, I want to go down to that bottom one that I just created, the H2 yellow. So I click on that and then I say save. And I come here and I say save. Okay, and we go back to that front end over there and we refresh this page. We scroll down, we go to our change color button over here and we click it, and there it jumps back to the top of the page. So I have to scroll back down, and you can see like when I hit this change color, watch straight away. You see it changes the color, but then it goes back to the top and it reloads the page. So how can we overcome this? Well, what works better is to actually add in a text module when you want to do these kind of interactions, because the text module doesn't reload the page. So if we jump back into the back here and we just add in a module, and add in a text module, and we'll call it the same thing, also change color using text module. I think that works. All right, then let's go design and let's change the text to the yellow color. All right, and what we want to do then is we want to add a border to this. So let's give this a border of 2, and let's give it about 50 border radius. Okay, the border color we want also to be yellow. All right, that's looking good. Then we want to jump into sizing over here, maximum width. Let's call this maybe 31, not pixels, but percent. I think we can make it a bit bigger. So let's make it 35. Yeah, that works. Okay, but I don't think that text is going to work. I think the text, maybe we need to also just say change color. Okay, there we go. Design, go back to text. This text we want to make bold, not semi-bold. We want it to be bold, so it looks more or less the same kind. Okay. Then what we want to do is we want to center the text. And once we've done that, let's jump into spacing. And over here, let's push this 15 pixels, top and bottom. That's looking more or less like what we want it to look like. Okay, now let's go and add in an interaction over here. So we go interaction, add interaction, click, and we want to toggle preset. Which one do we want? We want to target the ideal fun H2, and we want to set the preset that when we change it, we want to send it to the yellow color. So save that. Let's see if this helps. Go into the front end, refresh the front end. Wait. Where is my text? Did we not save it? Okay, saved. Let's go to the front. There we go. Okay. It's been a long day. All right, so if we come here now, let's cross fingers and see if this works. There we go. Now you can toggle between the two presets that you set, and it doesn't reload the page and jump to the top. So in the future, if you want to do this kind of interaction, I would recommend is that you actually use a text module rather than using a button module, and then just style the text module to look like a button module. I think you'll be better served going forward that way. All right, if you have a different way of doing it, let me know in the comments and we can all learn together. But that's it. That's how you can quite easily change the font color using a Divi interaction. I hope this tutorial is useful for you. And if it is, let me know by hitting that like button of the video. And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe and join me on this journey of learning more about Divi. I would love to have you along with the ride. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.